All right, now joining me, first round pick of the 2026 NBA draft, Dailyn Swain. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. So I think with your game, you spent 3 years in college, 2 years at Xavier, then with Texas. The thing that blows me away with you, you took half your shots at the rim this past season with Texas. Was getting to the basket always something you did ever since you were a little kid playing basketball for the first time?
Honestly, I think it's the complete opposite, to be honest. I was always, growing up, I was like a sharpshooter, to be honest. I was shooting, if I did get close to the basket, it was a floater. I was no contact, shying away from the contact. And then once I hit that growth spurt, and playing in the Columbus City League and growing up, I think I got more used to getting downhill. So
You were a sharpshooter.
yeah,
That would surprise some people.
yeah,
It surprises me.
yeah, for sure.
What happened?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just getting to the rim was easy. You know what I mean? I just never had to shoot in high school and stuff like that, besides like AAU and stuff, but I could always get to the rim, get downhill. So
Now, I'm curious when it comes to the shooting ability. You are a 80+% guy from the free throw line, 50% guy on floaters, but from the perimeter and from 3-point range, you haven't had as much success as shooting the ball. Has that been a real focus of your training to improve the jumper?
yeah, for sure. I mean, like I talked about, I've been a good shooter since I was a kid. So it's just like for me, reps, confidence, being able to get it off quicker. But like I said, my game was always, getting downhill, asserting myself in the paint, getting paint touches, getting to the free throw line. So, but I think adding the shooting, especially the way the NBA is now, it's like super important. But I think I've made progress every single year. I'll continue to do that and be able to show it at the next level. And like you said, surprise a lot of people, I guess. So.
I mean, I think if you do become a knockdown shooter like you were when you were a kid, you could easily be one of the great steals in the draft because you have everything else. You have the downhill attacking. You're a willing passer. You're 6'7". You have length and versatility defensively, toughness. Like you have literally every other quality that teams are looking for. It's just they want to see you prove it as a shooter.
For sure.
You see yourself that way too, as a guy people are overlooking.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just an added chip on my shoulder. I think I appreciate people, kind of sleeping on me, if that's what you want to call it, because like you said, once they see it all work out, I'll be one of the guys that they wish went higher in the draft. So,
what your role at Xavier to your role at Texas, how would you describe the differences in the way you played at each school and also what you were instructed to do differently?
So my freshman year was just about trying to impact the game any ways that I could, and just to stay on the court, just to have opportunities. So it was like guarding the best players sometimes, getting deflections, getting offensive rebounds, creating extra possessions, and kind of thriving in transition when I could, finishing plays, being a good cutter. And then with that, the success in that role kind of came more on-ball reps my sophomore year. I mean, with me developing, getting better on the ball, improving my handle, improving my scoring overall, I just got better at scoring on my own, not necessarily being more like a complimentary player. I think that was kind of my thing at Xavier. And then at Texas, I've made a leap every year, and I was kind of counting on making another leap, and it was just more like being the guy, being a primary ball handler, initiating the offense, getting everybody else involved, and it just was a product of my hard work every summer and throughout the season, just getting better.
I mean, at Texas, you became one of the most efficient isolation scorers in the entire nation, one of the most efficient on synergy sports ever. and that's with like primarily getting to the basket. ISO scoring, you talked about how when you were younger, you used to be more of a sharpshooter, a guy who avoided contact at the rim when you were super young. At Texas, what worked for you last year? Was that something you were building towards, like waiting for that opportunity to be an isolation scorer? And is that how you see yourself moving forward in the NBA too?
I wouldn't say necessarily like waiting for that opportunity. I think that's just kind of what happened, what I grew into. It was just trying to impact the game, be as impactful as I can, however that is. And I think that's just, kind of how it happened. But, at the next level, I just want to, like I said, impact however I need to be. There's only certain guys who are going to come in and have those ISO opportunities. But I think going back, if you watch what I did at Xavier, I can impact the game off the ball as well. I think I'm a really good cutter. I have a feel for the game. Being able to finish possessions, being able to get in there and grab offensive rebounds. And I'm always going to thrive in transition. I'm a good defensive rebounder, so I make, the right plays, bringing the ball up the floor. So I think however I need to impact, I will.
I mean, I think one of the misconceptions about you, at least in my opinion, is like you at Texas, your role is you had to score, you had to finish a lot of possessions. At Xavier, you saw some of that more quick decision, decisive playmaking ability that's going to be of the utmost importance in the NBA. Like you see the way it was in the playoffs, like got to make instant decisions, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure. I mean, I've talked about that with Coach Miller since my freshman year. We call them, 0.5 decisions. When you get it, you have, half a second to either shoot, to drive, to make one more pass. So I think learning a lot of that from him, a lot of film, that will help me thrive at the next level with those type of decisions.
You mentioned your rebounding and your defensive playmaking. I think those are some of your best qualities moving forward in the NBA. What stood out to you about this postseason, and how do you see yourself fitting in on the defensive end of the floor?
I think, like you said, I can make plays on the defensive end. Like I talked about, my feel for the game, knowing when to get in the passing lanes, knowing when to rotate, knowing how long, to stay with the roller and things like that, but also learning, whatever team I play for, their new terminology, their principles on the defensive end. I think I'm a quick learner. So with that new information, it'll only, help me get better on defense.
How'd you first get into basketball?
I would go spend, my summers in Sandusky, Ohio, with my dad's side of the family. My mom's side was always around basketball too, but going up there, watching my uncles and my older brother play at the park, and then, they toss me the ball and I can't get it up to the rim. So going back home and telling my mom, I want to start playing, and stop going there for summer and start playing AAU and start training and stuff. So
when did the NBA dream first kind of spark in your mind?
Probably when I was around like 10 or 11, kind of when I just felt a little different than my peers who played basketball, who talked about basketball. I just had a different, gravitation towards the game. It just felt like it was for me, and the NBA always stuck out to me. Like it was like a dream.
Did you know you'd be as tall as you became?
No, I had no idea. Honestly, I don't have any like super tall family members. My mom is like 5'8". My dad's like, let him tell it, he's like 6'2", but he's really like 6 foot, 6'1". So I don't have any tall uncles or anything like that are around my height or taller. So I think I just got blessed a little bit.
Wow. I mean, you had the vision and you were rewarded, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I'm curious, like, I think for you, I mean, some players, they have, basketball parents, and some people, like, they knew they'd be tall. They have a 7-foot father or whatever. And yet you had this dream. I think when, like, obviously you have a dream. At what age were you when it first become like, oh my God, this actually has a real chance of being a thing for me?
I think around my freshman year of high school, just like I talked about, just you have a different feeling than the people you're around. Like I felt different. I never felt like I was regular. I never felt like I was going to have the same trajectory as the guys around me. So knowing that I could get better every year and seeing how much growth I made every year. And then also with the growth spurts, like I went from like 6 foot, 6'1" in 8th grade to like 6'3". I knew I wasn't done growing. So my sophomore year I was like 6'5", 6'6", and then, got that extra inch going into my junior, senior year. So, I had the height, I had the size, I had the frame, I had the potential. I always knew the game. I watched the game. So I think I had the opportunity. I just had to work for it. And then when it's that simple, it's easy to go for your dreams.
Does it matter to you to get drafted high?
I think it's more about fit. It's always a dream to go as high as you want to. Just, you know what I mean? When you tell your kids like, hey, I was this pick, or, they look back on it. But like we talked about, just making the most of my opportunity, wanting to also look back and say he was a steal, he should have went higher. So I think I kind of got the best of both worlds.
It's just a matter of making most of the opportunity with whoever you're getting drafted, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think with you, I'm curious, what's your biggest motivator?
I've always kind of been like the guy that was slept on a little bit. I was never the number one recruit in Ohio. I wasn't even like the number one recruit in inner city Columbus all the time. So just not being a guy who was always, stroked from a young age, who was the 5-star McDonald's All-American, being like the underdog a little bit. And I feel like I'm in the same position now. I think that's always been my story, and that keeps me motivated.
Growing up in Ohio, were you a Cavs fan or just a LeBron fan? What were you?
Cavs fan for sure, but then I kind of changed to a LeBron fan when he made the move. So, yeah.
Feels like the whole city was like that, right? Well, it's not some. Some were burning jerseys.
Exactly. It was extreme up there in Cleveland, Northern Ohio areas. I think I was just a fan of the game. So whatever LeBron did, I was a part of it.
Is he who you're most excited to play against?
For sure. LeBron James definitely is the most.
I guess.
Yeah.
Who knows, right?
Yeah, exactly. Who knows?
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Traffic. Traffic is like...
You love New York City then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, New York City, she gets me around pretty fast, so I don't have to worry about that as much. But like at Texas, especially like the football game days, man, they shut down the streets. You're trying to get to a facility to practice, and traffic is like, I don't know. It's just, for some reason, that one bothers me the most, especially because it's so avoidable. Like usually it's just somebody holding up the traffic and it creates problem for everybody.
Human choices
Man.
screw it all up.
Yes, sir.
Gonna have the self-driving cars everywhere soon.
Exactly.
It'll all be solved.
Yeah.
But what do you do besides basketball?
I play video games a lot.
Games.
Like right now I'm playing, there's a game called Bully. It's a throwback game. It's like, it's by Rockstar Games. So the same people who made GTA.
I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm born 1990. I was like mid-2000s, right?
Okay, exactly.
Hello,
Yeah, it was a
boy.
game my older brother, he showed me. So, I think they're either going to come out with a new version or like remaster it. But right now I'm still playing the old one. I got it on PS5. So
You can play GTA 6 when that comes out?
for sure. Yeah. I'm still on Fortnite too. That was probably the one I'm most talented with. So it's hard to give that one up, but
I'm on PC. I have to get a console so I can play GTA on launch day.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know they make you guys wait on PC just because, I mean, you have the mods and stuff
Some
like
crap,
that. But
I know.
yeah, you definitely got to get a console.
It's like, I think for GTA 5, they made the PC players wait 18 months.
Yeah,
a
that's
year and a half. I
ridiculous.
can't wait 18 months to play GTA.
Not for GTA 6.
It's
No, it's going to be
ridiculous.
crazy.
I'll be playing. I might take the day off from work.
Me too. I will too.
Miss a game, right?
Yeah.
Last question for you, Dailyn. What do you love most about basketball?
I think just how much I learned on the court and off the court, seeing my progression, being able to, reflect on myself from a certain point, whether it was when I was in high school or when I started college to now, always having those moments to look back on, especially playing at this level when everything's publicized. You can look and see, what you were doing at this time, how you looked, what your body looked like. And then also just the people you meet, the connections, the relationships you build through the game and through everybody's shared love for the game. And you see guys that you grew up with, like DPs in Ohio, got to see him be potentially the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. Like, it's a great feeling seeing guys succeed in their stories too.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how your career unfolds, Dailyn. Enjoy this week. I'm rooting for you, man. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.